Hello, everyone, and thank you for checking out today's episode of Hardball Sports Talk, brought to you by Hardball Sports Media. My name is Brandon. Today is a very exciting day for us. We are finally on the YouTube side of things with this show. If you're relatively new to us, what I do is on Thursdays for the NFL season, I go through all the games, make a pick for every game, and then we review last week's game. And if there's anything big happening in the sports world that I have a very strong opinion about or just not strong knowledge about, we'll discuss that. During the football season, though, we haven't done a whole lot of that. Um, but during the off season for football, we'll have a lot more topics to talk about. For today, and probably during the football picks, I'll just do doing a screen recording, and while I figure out what I want to do for this channel and stuff like that. I have a lot of different ideas what I want to do and stuff, but for the time being, this is what I'm going to be doing. So if anybody has any ideas for content or anything like that, please let me know in the comment section. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. That'd be awesome if you guys would do that for me. With all that being said, let's get started on looking at last week's games on how we did on our picks. We got the Buccaneers and the Eagles. We got that one right. 28-22 for the Bucs. The Red Wings were playing that night, so I didn't really watch a whole lot of that game. And to be honest with you, I didn't really catch a whole lot of football action this week with different things going on in my schedule. Hopefully this week, though, I'll be able to catch a few more games than I did last week. In England this week was the Dolphins and the Jaguars. Now we're going to talk about the Dolphins here in a second. I just realized something when I was making my picks for this week, and we'll talk about them in a second. But congratulations to Jacksonville getting their first win. Congratulations to Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence, and company. Still don't think Urban's out of the water yet. I think there's a good chance that he's not back next year. We'll see how that plays out and stuff like that. But the Dolphins, you'll notice this in a minute or so when we get to the game picks for this week. But the Dolphins play again this week, and that's a little strange. They played in London, England, which traditionally, if a team plays in England, they get a bye week the next game. And for whatever reason, the Dolphins are playing again this week, and they don't have a bye until like week 14, I think it was. So that's interesting on the schedule makers' part there. The Packers beat the Bears 24-14. Not really shocked by that one. The Bears kept it closer than I thought they would, though. The Colts completely destroyed the Texans 31-3. Rams completely destroyed the Giants 38-11. Chiefs destroyed the Washington football team 31-13. Ravens shockingly destroyed the Chargers 34-6. I thought that game would be a lot closer than it was, but kudos to the Ravens for dismantling the Chargers there. Bengals had no problems with the Lions 34-11. I'm a Lions fan. Check out the podcast. The link for that's in the description. And Tuesday's episode, I talked about this game. The Vikings lost to the Panthers. The Vikings beat the Panthers. I picked the Panthers to win that game, but the Vikings won that one. Both teams are in very similar situations where one week I could see them winning, but the next week they'll lay an egg. Both teams are very similar like that. Both teams I could see make the playoffs or miss the playoffs. They're very inconsistent and interesting to see how those seasons play out. Cardinals had no problems whatsoever with the Browns. I picked the Cardinals to win that game, but I thought it'd be a lot closer than it was. So kudos to the Cardinals there. The Browns are dealing with a lot of injuries, and we'll talk about that in a second when we make the picks for this week. The Raiders beat the Broncos, and I picked the Raiders to lose that game because of all the off-the-field distractions I had this week. But, kudos to them being able to play this well against a really good Broncos team, who that defense is really good, and Teddy Bridgewater has that offense playing a lot better. But the Raiders were able to win that game 34-24. And then the Cowboys Patriots, I watched a little bit of this one. Really exciting game. Cowboys were able to win it in overtime 35-29. Sunday Night Football, the Steelers beat the Seahawks. I figured they would, and I picked them. With Russell Wilson's injury, and he's out for a month or so, I figured Geno, he's a good backup quarterback, but I thought that'd be a little too much for him, and sure enough it was, 23-20 for the Steelers. And then the the Titans beat the Bills on Monday night, and Derrick Henry ran for 3 touchdowns, and he was literal beast mode. And I know that's Marshawn Lynch, but Derrick Henry is a man among boys. He's a beast, and I watched a little bit of this game, and I saw this play where he just ran right through the line and just like ran. Nobody could catch the guy. Really impressive football player, and really exciting to watch. So before we make this week's picks, let's look at who's got a bye this week. We are in week 7. The Buffalo Bills are not playing this week. The Dallas Cowboys, Jacksonville Jaguars, Minnesota Vikings, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Chargers. So, with all those teams not playing, let's make our picks for this week. First off, we got the Browns versus the Broncos. Excuse me on that. I'm picking the Browns to win. The Browns, though, have a lot of injuries this week. Baker Mayfield is out, so Case Keenum is starting at quarterback. The top 2 running backs, Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, are both gone this week. Both tackles for the offensive line are out, and they're missing some players on defense. With all that being said, the Browns, Kevin Stefanski, really good coach, and he had Case Keenum when he was an offense coordinator with the Vikings. So I think familiarity with the offense and stuff like that will be good for the Browns, and they should be able to win on Thursday night. We'll see how it plays out, though. The Packers versus the Washington football team. Packers should win that one, no problem. There's really not much of a chance for the Washington football team. Now, it's the NFL. Anybody can beat anybody, but if the Packers play to their strengths and their full capabilities, no problems here. Ever since losing to the Saints week 1, they've been a completely different team. And, yeah, so I see the Packers winning that one, no problem. Now we got the Chiefs versus the Titans. This one was a tough one for me to pick, but I ended up going with the Chiefs. I could see the Titans winning this one. They're coming off a really big win against the Bills on Monday Night Football. But the Chiefs, they got to get her going here eventually. They're 3-3 on the year. This team, they honestly have the talent to finish with 12, 13 wins. But if they're going to do that, they got to start winning these games now, and I think they will. So I'm taking the Chiefs to win that game. Now we got the Falcons versus the Dolphins. Dolphins are coming off, and it's not a short week, but it's a short week. Flying back from London, you got the time change. You're playing at 9:30, and then you're coming back and you're playing at 1 o'clock. Just with all that going on, I'm going to take the Falcons to win this game. Now we got the Jets and the Patriots. I'm taking the Patriots to win. I trust the coaching staff for New England more than I trust the Jets coaching staff. Don't get me wrong, though, I like Robert Saleh. When the Lions were looking for a new head coach, he was high on my list, and I like Dan Campbell, though. I think he's going to do great things in Detroit if given the time. But that's a story for a different day. Panthers versus the Giants. I'm going to take the Panthers here. But if the Giants are getting healthy, I'm not sure what the status for their quarterback, Daniel Jones, and Kenny Galladay, the wide receiver, Saquon Barkley, the running back. Not sure how they are all in the injuries. But if healthy, all 3 of them, the Giants can put up some points and make this an interesting game. But I still think the Panthers will win this game. Now we got the Bengals versus the Ravens. I'm going to take the Ravens to win that game, but I'm going to tell you what, the Bengals are better than I thought they would be. And this could be a big game for the Bengals, getting some respect on their name. I could see them coming out and winning this game. Just, every year there's that one or two teams that nobody saw coming, like last year, the Browns. Nobody saw the Browns being that good. Sorry for the stutter right there. When I'm recording the podcast, I can edit it, but with the video and stuff like that, it's a little bit harder to edit all that. So we're just going with it today. Like I said, the Bengals, I could see them winning this game, but I'm going to take the safe pick and go with the Ravens. Now we got the Raiders and the Eagles. I'm going to take the Raiders. They just came off a really big win, and the Eagles have been struggling a lot this year, so I'm going to take the Raiders to win. Now we got the Rams versus the Lions. If you listen to the podcast on Tuesday, you heard me say the Rams will win this one 41-10, and I'm sticking with that. I've seen articles online, have not read them yet. I might look them up here in a little bit just to see what they're all about, that are saying that the Lions will keep this game close. I don't see how the Lions can keep this game close unless if they play out of their minds. But Matthew Stafford is going to want to like destroy the Lions for trading him, and he's going to say all the right things. He's got no ill feelings toward the Lions, and he might not. But this is still not just another game for him. He's going to say all those things, and he has said all those things. But it's not just another game for him. This is a big deal for him. And you could say the same thing for Jared Goff, but the difference is Matthew Stafford, one, is the better quarterback, and two, has a lot better talent around him than Jared Goff does. So with all that, I think the Rams are going to win this one handily. Now we got the Cardinals and the Texans. Cardinals should have no problem with the Texans here. Now we got the Bucs and the Bears. Same thing, the Bucs should have no problems with the Bears. The 49ers and the Colts. I'm taking the Niners to win here. But both teams, record-wise, are very equal teams. And they really are equal teams. Both teams have underperformed so far this year. The Colts are 2-4. Niners are 2-3. But I'm going to take the Niners to win this one. And then Monday night, we got the Saints and the Seahawks. I am taking the Saints to win this game. But if you've listened to the podcast before, you know that Jameis Winston is an inconsistent quarterback. Or if you've ever watched NFL, you know that too. And one week he's going to look a great quarterback. Next week he's going to look like a terrible quarterback. And so it all depends on what Jameis Winston shows up. But with the Seahawks are without Russell Wilson still, so Geno Smith will still be at quarterback. The Saints, I think, have a better roster, so that's basically where I'm going with here is the roster, I think, for the Saints can cover up a lot of flaws for Jameis Winston. Thank you for checking out today's episode of Hardball Sports Talk. Like I said, in the future, we'll do more news stuff or like Sporkle quizzes. So thanks, everyone, for checking today out. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them in the comment section. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you.